The earth trembles, not with the familiar shudder of a quake, but with a deep, primal groan from its very core. Far beneath a mountain range, long forgotten by mapmakers and explorers, an ancient slumber is disturbed. After millennia of silence, stone, older than any human civilization, begins to fracture. With a sound that rips through the bedrock, a colossal figure of black rock and burning magma veins tears itself from the planet's crust. It rises, a being of pure, raw power, its form silhouetted against the sky. Humans, in their terror, would later give it a name. Obliver, awakened from an eon of sleep, Obliver carries only one instinct from its ancient past: to destroy everything built by the hands of man. The age of humanity is over. The reign of stone has begun. Cities, the shining jewels of human achievement, fall within hours. Skyscrapers that once scraped the heavens crumble like sandcastles against an unstoppable tide. The full might of human military power is unleashed. Fighter jets scream through the sky, launching missiles that explode against Obliver's form in brilliant flashes of light. But it's useless. For every piece of rock blasted away, new stone regenerates from the molten heart within. Obliver is a walking apocalypse, striding through the infernos of its own making. It crushes tanks, tears down bridges, and grinds entire battalions into the dust. Panic grips the globe. Millions flee in a desperate, chaotic exodus. Governments, once thought unshakable, simply collapse under the weight of the onslaught. Humanity is pushed to the brink of extinction, but as one ancient power awakens to destroy, another stirs to protect. Far away, hidden deep within a pristine, untouched forest valley, a different kind of giant rises. This one is older, taller, and carries an aura of profound calm. Its body is made of a lighter-colored stone, intricately carved with ancient, glowing symbols of life and balance. Its name is Arion. Long ago, in an age before memory, Arion was created not to rule over life, but to be its guardian. It feels the agony of the earth as a wound in its own body, and hears the desperate screams of humanity echoing through the very ground it walks upon. From its vantage point, Arion observes the small, fleeting creatures called humans. It sees them hiding in caves, shielding their children with their own bodies, carrying their wounded through the chaos. In their resilience, their refusal to abandon one another, Arion recognizes a flicker of the life it swore an oath to protect. A memory of that ancient promise solidifies into purpose. Arion takes its first step. Miraculously, where its massive foot touches the ground, the broken earth doesn't crack further. It heals. Grass springs forth, and the very land seems to sigh in relief. The remnants of the human military soon discover Arion. Blinded by fear and assuming another enemy has emerged, they attack without hesitation. Missiles streak through the air, striking Arion's body. Attack helicopters buzz around its head like angry insects, only to be swatted from the sky by the shockwaves of their own failed attacks. Yet Arion does not fight back. As the cliffsides around the soldiers begin to crumble from the concussive blasts, Arion kneels and lowers its massive form, creating a living shield of stone to protect the very soldiers attacking it. In that moment, a young military commander, watching from a command post, understands this giant isn't an enemy, it's a protector. Communication is impossible, but a bond of trust is forged not with words, but with action. Arion gently guides the survivors toward the safety of the valley and then turns, pointing a colossal finger toward the burning horizon. Toward the source of all this destruction, Obliver has reached the world's last great capital city. The final symbols of human culture and power are being erased. Skyscrapers fall like dominoes. The last line of defense, a brave but futile stand, is broken. As Obliver raises its gargantuan foot to deliver the final, crushing blow to the city's heart, the ground between it and its target splits wide open. From the chasm, Arion rises, a figure of calm strength against a backdrop of raging fire. The two giants, ancient enemies from a forgotten era, face each other once more. Stone against stone, destruction against protection. Their first clash sends an earthquake shuddering across continents. Mountains collapse into dust. Rivers are violently The very face of the planet is scarred by their battle. Obliver fights with pure, unadulterated rage. Each blow is a cataclysm, each movement designed for maximum annihilation. But Arion fights with purpose. It doesn't seek to destroy its foe, but to contain it. It blocks Obliver's furious attacks, masterfully redirecting the force of the blows away from the city and the surviving humans. Seeing their chance, the military rejoins the fight. They focus their fire on the weak points revealed during the struggle, the searing magma cores that pulse beneath Obliver's rocky hide. But Obliver is not a mindless beast. It adapts. It rips entire mountains from their foundations and hurls them like monstrous projectiles, wiping out thousands of soldiers in a single, devastating move. Hope, which had flickered so briefly, begins to fade once more. Then Obliver reveals its true, terrifying power. It plunges its arms deep into the earth, drawing heat and energy directly from the planet's molten core. Its body grows larger, its stone turning a deeper, more menacing shade of black. It becomes a being of absolute, unstoppable force. Arion is beaten back, its stone body cracked and broken. It's forced to its knees, helpless before the amplified might of its adversary. Oblivion raises its arm for the final world-ending strike. But in that moment of utter despair, something incredible happens. The humans refuse to run. They refuse to hide. Soldiers, medics, and civilians, everyone who is left, stand their ground. They launch one last, desperate, coordinated attack. Fighter jets, their missiles spent, launch directly into Oblivion's arms. Tanks fire their cannons until their barrels melt. It does almost no physical damage, but it's not meant to. It's a distraction. And it works. It buys Arion the one thing it needs: time. Drawing not on the destructive heat of the core, but on the life energy of the land itself, Arion begins to glow. The ancient symbols carved into its body blaze with a brilliant, life-giving light. It's not preparing an attack, but a seal. With a final surge of strength, Arion lunges forward, grabbing Oblivion in an unbreakable embrace. It drags its raging foe toward a massive fault line that has opened beneath them, a direct channel to the center of the earth. Oblivion screams with fury, thrashing and fighting, but Arion's grip is absolute. With a final silent act of sacrifice, Arion pulls them both down, deep into the fiery heart of the planet. The ground closes over them, and the world falls silent. Days later, the survivors emerge. The world is in ruins, a landscape of wreckage and loss. But humanity has survived. Back in the quiet forest valley, a new mountain has appeared. It is the upper body of Arion, now turned to solid stone, a permanent part of the land he died to protect. Trees have already begun to grow around him, and animals are returning to the peaceful sanctuary. Nearby, humans build a monument. It is not made of gleaming metal or adorned with flags. It is a simple, humble monument of stone, honoring their silent guardian. The war of stone is over, but its lesson is now carved into the memory of all who survived. That true strength is found not in the power to destroy, but in the will to protect. Thanks for watching.